everybody, it's Sue Scott with the Back 10 Feet, and we're on location today. How awesome is that? We're at the Butterfly Estates in Fort Myers, Florida, and we're going to introduce you to Matt and Joyce, and they're going to tell us more about the Butterfly Estates. And Joyce is going to go into details about butterflies and what they need in our backyards to be healthy and for us to invite them in. So come on along. We're going to have a great day today here at the Butterfly Estates.
This is a beautiful greenhouse, a tropical garden that houses our Florida butterflies. We have the kinds of plants that butterflies need because butterflies do need a nectaring plant once they are winged adults, and they certainly need food as caterpillars. And so the butterfly lays her eggs on these plants we call host plants or host plants or larval plants. And so we have a lot of those plants in here, as well as other parts of just some tropical plants to make it just an enchanted garden. It's just a pleasure to work here. It's a pleasure to invite our guests here also. We'll be seeing our Florida butterflies. The most common ones are the really special one is our Florida state butterfly, the zebra longwing or the zebra haliconian. The zebra and the Julia and the Guff-fritillary, of course our monarchs. We do have a resident population of monarchs that stay in Florida throughout the year. We also have a cousin of the monarch, the queen. We have the beautiful smaller butterflies, the painted lady, the common buckeye, the yellow butterflies that are the sulphas, and we have several varieties of sulphas. And one that's really been kind of fun for us in the last couple of months is our great southern white. It's a medium-sized butterfly, but she really likes to fly around, and it's just beautiful. A lot of people think it's a moth, but in here we have the butterflies. Generally speaking, butterflies fly in the daytime. Caterpillars have little mandibles or chewing surfaces that they really can chew through a plant. The butterfly, female butterfly, lays her eggs not only on her specific plant, she actually will taste that plant. She can sense it with her antennae. She will taste it with little claspers on her feet. Then she's ready to lay her eggs. So not only does she pick the right plant, she picks the part of the plant that is very, very tender, because that egg is no larger than the head of a pen, or the tip of a pen actually. And so the caterpillar is very, very small once it hatches, and right away it eats itself out of the eggshell, and then you'll see this tiny little slither of a caterpillar, and then it starts doubling and tripling and quadrupling its size very, very soon, and really can do quite a good job on eating that plant. We call it a host plant or a larval plant. It's the same thing. It's a plant for the food for the caterpillar. I think nature has a way of having peak seasons for butterflies, that we have some butterflies that are all year. They produce brood all year, but they're still in peaks. Sometimes they just don't lay as many eggs, and I think that's nature's way of protecting the plant, because the plant really can be eaten down, but seldom does it do any damage unless it's a weak plant. Sometimes moths can do a whole lot of damage, even though they're in the same kind of, the same scientific order as the butterfly, but our butterflies really tend not to kill the plant. You just have to have enough plants for the butterflies, for the caterpillars in that stage. Adult butterflies, ours here in Florida, mostly nectar on flowers, the nectar in the flower. Our zebra longwing actually nectars using that proboscis, that straw-like tongue. It actually absorbs the pollen on that proboscis, and consequently our zebra longwing lives about 4 to 6 months, which is quite longer than most butterflies. Most butterflies live an average of a matter of weeks, probably 3 weeks is an average time. And the zebras are one of those butterflies that really are very social at night. They must like their body warmth because they will be on a string or something. When I say a string, a part of the plant that has a streaming edge to it that they will collect among themselves to overnight. Yes, you do need protecting areas for the butterflies. Like the large trees, if it's cold, those butterflies will go up underneath those leaves, and they'll be quite warm and snug during cold or rainy weather. So they do need a sheltering place too, a protection from predators, because there are a lot of predators out there for the butterflies and for the caterpillars. Caterpillars can be very secretive when they go away to form their pupa or their chrysalis. simply because they need to get away from the predators. So you need to have all of that available. One of the things that we do here too, we are a teaching facility. We love to talk to people about how they can bring butterflies to their own yard. And you can start on a very small scale. You can start with just a very few plants that will attract the butterflies. And sometimes you can just have nectaring plants because you can bring those butterflies in. They see an ultraviolet light, so they see the nectar in that plant. So they can go and nectar, and then they'll go find their host or larval plant.
Well, I hope everyone out there had as much fun as I did meeting Joyce and learning all about Florida's native butterflies and how we can help. Next, I'd like you to meet Matt. He's one of the co-owners of the Butterfly Estates, and he's going to tell us about how it all began and some of the plans for the future.
Well, it was very important for us in the very, very beginning, in the early planning stages, that my partners and I, the Johnson family, Rob Johnson and Jerry and Gail, we all decided we wanted this to be as green as we could make it at the time. Now, building, it took 5 years to build. We've been open 3, so you have to go back about 8 years ago to kind of figure out the timeline on this. But we wanted to do the most that we could at the time, and so we used components like the Trex decking that we have on the decks. We used Hardy Plank siding, which is also another plastic and cement composite. And those type of green items kind of help us. We don't have to stain the decks, we don't have to care for them, they're maintenance free. So it's really been a great thing for us here at the Butterfly Estates to be as green as we possibly could. Some of our coffees that we have here, it's called Grounds for Change, and what that is it's an organic fair trade coffee that we sell here, and you can buy it like in whole beans, you can buy it ground, or just enjoy a cup of it, however you like your coffee. But the great thing about it is that it is fair trade and it is organic, and we have one in particular, one flavor that's called Cafe Femenino, and that one is for it's grown by the women, it's sold by the women, it's produced by the women of those tribes, so it helps give them the money and the economics back in that tribe, where a lot of times it's just the male, the head of the household, that is allowed to make the money. So this way she gets to help contribute to some of the funding and caring of her family. The cups that we have are made from the corn, the cups and the lids and the straws, and then we have the forks and the cutlery that's made from potato starches, and then our plates are made from sugar cane. So we still use those in most of our to-go lunches that we serve and that we deliver, but inside what we did is we made the ultimate choice, and that was to reuse and rewash, and so we went ahead and bought real silverware, and we use that daily in the cafe rather than even adding anything to the landfills whatsoever. So that was our way of helping up it just one more level. We have quite a few things actually at the Butterfly Estates. We have Mother Nature's Gift Store, we have Caterpillar's Ice Cream and Fudge Factory. We have about 15 or 16 different flavors of fudge here every week. We do make it here on site. We have our very own Winfield Lentz, who's our pastry chef and our chocolatier, and so he takes great care of us in that aspect of the business. And then of course we have Flutterby's Cafe, and let's not forget our 3,600 square foot glass butterfly conservatory. And that, of course, is the jewel in our little crown here, and that's what we're most famous for. We wanted to put something in downtown Fort Myers that had never been done, and we thought, what a great setting is this beautiful city. So what we did was we found a little known company named Rao Brothers from Cincinnati, Ohio. And they had built other conservatories for Texas A&M University, for Notre Dame University, but this was their first butterfly exhibit. So the two teams kind of got together, and we told them what the butterflies needed, they told us what they could provide, and we created what you see today. It's a fully automated butterfly conservatory. It does have its own weather station on the top, so it does sense wind speeds, barometric pressure, rainfall. It will call our cell phone actually if the temperature goes above or below the parameters that we have it set at. So it's pretty intense in there. And it'll actually button itself up for the storm. If it senses a drop in barometric pressure, it'll close the roof vents, the side vents, shut the shade system, and get ready for the storm. So it's pretty neat. We're really excited to offer something different that you're not used to here in the area, and so what we do is we do have quite a few weddings here inside the Butterfly Conservatory. During certain times of the year, of course, it does get really hot in there. It is Florida, and it is a glass house. So it does get pretty intense in there, but we do have the shade system. We have a misting system in there that can drop the temperature about 10 degrees in there. So we can control the temperature quite a bit. Mother Nature, of course, we can't fight her. But we do the best that we can. Who wants to, exactly. So one of the things that we do, in lieu of throwing rice or birdseed, what we do is we actually have a bridal butterfly release. So it's pretty neat in there. What we do is we make a wish for the bride and the groom, and then we unzip the netted cage and outfly the butterflies. So it's really, really a neat program that we have in there. One of the other things that we actually do is we do memorial services, and so we will sell butterflies to people if they'd like to take graveside, or if they'd like to do a little memorial service inside the Butterfly Conservatory. We do that as well. And it's a nice kind of way to give yourself maybe some closure to a very sensitive subject. And also it's a nice thing to think that maybe their soul is going up to the heavens. So just something that, another aspect that we like to offer here at the Butterfly Estates. And this is our new Butterfly Buddies program. And we just launched this on April 1st. It's a really neat program. It's one of our outreach programs, and we're so proud of it. It took about a year to put it all together. But what we do is we like to go take our butterflies to the children that can't come to see us. And so we like to take the butterflies in a netted cage. We'll take them bedside. We bring the nature to them when they can't go outside and see it. We also give that family a family membership here at the Butterfly Estates. It's a lifetime membership here at the Butterfly Estates. So they can come and go as often as they want inside the Butterfly Conservatory. If they want to just maybe get some peace, maybe relax a little bit, take a breather. We also offer them the same discounts that our members receive in all of our stores as well. So it's just something that we want to do to kind of give back to the community, give back to Lee County. It was really important for my business partners, Jerry and Gail Johnson and Rob Johnson and I, to take that step and to give back to Lee County, to the community, and this was one of the ways that we can help our little ones.
Well, I hope you guys had as much fun today as I have being here at the Butterfly Estates. I want you to know you can find them very easily on the web, www.thebutterflyestates.com. And I hope you'll come and visit if you can. Visit them on the web at least, and let's patronize our local businesses wherever we are who are investing in their communities. That's always a good thing. And I also want to remind all of you out there that we can make a difference in our air quality, our water quality, and the quality of our very lives, starting in our own backyards at the back 10 feet. Thanks for being with us today. See you next time.